the Holby homestead. A lot of things have changed here, as in the fence is finally up after all these months and all this hard work and money and time. The fence is up for the chickens, and so now we're just kind of getting Bailey used to the fence, and he's 10 months old, so kind of hoping that we haven't left it too late. But I'm going to take you around and kind of show you what we got and kind of what the plan is and go from there. So here we go. First of all, I'm going to fill up Bailey's pool because this is his favorite activity. Bailey, come on. Bailey. 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 Come on. Let me rinse out the pool first. There we go. You go ahead and play in it. I never thought that a livestock dog would actually be a water dog, but Bailey loves this pool. And for those wondering, we actually have like a water bowl for him, but he doesn't like the water bowl. He likes to drink out of the pool. So I don't know what his plan is in the wintertime, but that's what he likes to use. Anyways, continuing on. You guys are probably wondering if the fence is for the chickens and for Bailey, how are we keeping the chickens in with these types of gates? So I'm going to kind of give you a rundown on these gates and kind of explain why we did it this way. First of all, we did put the gates probably not as low as what we could have, but we're thinking about the wintertime and snow load and stuff. So there is a gap on the ground, but it's not that big of a gap. But you're probably wondering why we went with these types of gates and how we're making sure that the chickens do not go through it. So just an FYI on gates, if you didn't know this, there are two types of gates. There's these types of gates. I'm really oversimplifying, but here we go. There's these types of gates, which is like the tube style gates. And then there's gates that have, they look like this, but from here down is like a mesh. And you're probably wondering, why didn't you just go with those types of gates instead of these types of gates? So the mesh, there's two reasons. First of all, those, what I'm calling the mesh gates, are, they were like $80 more, and I just cannot justify that, especially since we had to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates. So, like, you know, that was not cheap. Also, have you ever like been driving by like an old farm and you see farmers that have these gates, like the mesh gates, not these gates, but the other types of gates? And over the years, like, as the gate has aged, they've got a piece of plywood, like, from here down, where the mesh used to be. And if you look closely on a mesh gate, even though they're more expensive, the mesh is, like, really thin, and it's cheaply welded on. So I was thinking about the fact that I don't want to replace these gates anytime soon. So, and I just find that those mesh gates, once they start falling apart, they look like crap, whatever. So so that's why we went with these types of gates. Now you're still wondering, how do you stop the chickens from going through? Well, You probably can't see it on camera, and you honestly can't see it unless you are up close to it, so visually it's not like that awful looking, at least in my opinion. We have chicken wire here, and that's our secret. And the chicken wire actually hangs a little bit below the gate, so it's just a little bit of a deterrent for anybody to slip underneath it. The chicken wire goes to here so that when you're opening and closing the gate, you can wrap your hand around it and you're not bothered by the chicken wire. The chicken wire is on the inside. We just zip tied it. I mean, you know, maybe there was a better way to do this, but so that is what we did here. And with the rest of the gates, I'm going to show you how we did the rest of the gates. So here, where we have a little man gate, and then we have two big gates here. So again, chickens could fit through here if they really tried. So we put the chicken wire there. We've got the chicken wire here. Bailey has already started digging underneath this gate. So this is temporary. We've got a piece of wood here. We're probably going to put a hotline here just to deter him from digging and other things. So we got the chicken wire here, and we got the chicken wire on these two gates on the inside. And honestly, like, you can't tell, like, looking at it from the other side, that there is even chicken wire on it. So, like, yeah, it kind of looks like crap up close. But far away, it doesn't. I mean, I know it's not all about looks, but, you know, you spend this kind of money on gates, you still kind of want it to look decent. We also have, he's alerting to something. We also have chicken wire on that 16-foot gate over there, too. So, anyways. The other thing I wanted to show you is how we did our latches. You'll probably be surprised to know that we got our gates, all of our gates, and our latches at a place called Bridle Path Tack, which is like a horse store. And I mean, nothing against horse people, but usually you can tell the difference between a horse store and like a general farm store, because horse people seem to have a lot more money. And so usually I find that horse stores or suppliers are way too overpriced. And so I never really bothered going there until recently. And then that was when I found out that they have this really hot gate sale, and that is why I purchased all these gates. But also, they are the only place, and not even farm stores have them, that have a latch for these gates, which is a real pain in the butt. You would think that a regular farm store would actually carry these latches, but they don't. So we have two of these latches in our, like, gates that are used the most. So all gates come with a chain, and you know, different versions of a chain. So like that little gate has like a little chain attached to it. This came with like a whole chain that you can completely take off, and we just have it wrapped around. And that gate down there came with the chain. So the chain is nice, and we left them so that we can lock it with like a safety lock, a padlock, if we need to. But they're a pain in the behind to go in and out of every time you need to go in and out of the gates. So I am going to show you how this latch works. I just came over here to this gate because it's a little easier to show you. We are gonna fix this. Unfortunately, our post wasn't quite close enough. We thought it was, but it wasn't. So, hi Nova. So we had to put this piece of wood in. Down the road, we'll fix it and kind of clean it up. But so the way that this gate works, so it's a both-sided lock. So if I wanted to go out, what I'm doing is I'm pulling up this tab and it's going to open. Now, I'm just holding the gate because I don't want it to fly open here. But the nice thing about these latches is that you close the gate or you let it close by itself and it'll latch. So now if you want to open the gate this way, all you're doing is pulling up that other tab and pulling it towards you. And see, this is the one piece. And then if you're walking away, you don't have to make sure it closes. You can just let it go and it latches. So that's the way this one is, and that's the way that little gate is, because we use that little gate a lot. But yeah, these latches are pretty neat. And like I said, we got them from the horse supply place because we could not find them anywhere else. So yeah, just an explanation of latches. The only thing that these things are a real bugger to install. They're really hard to install and you have to get it like just right, and it's really finicky. So if you get one of these, just be warned, they are extremely finicky. And also we had to do some modifying because this bracket here, no matter how hard we tried, did not want to fit on this tube gate. So we just drilled a hole and put it through. But you know, I mean, it was the best we could do, but you kind of gotta like DIY how you're gonna install these because it honestly isn't that great. You see, we don't have a screw there. If we put a screw there, it wouldn't work. So the way it's sitting right now, it works. Don't ask me how that works, but they're just finicky. They're extremely finicky. But they are way better than having a chain that you have to undo and then make sure it's tight. The other thing is, Bailey, before we put the latch on this gate over here, Bailey figured out that if he rubbed up against the gate enough, he could work the chain loose. So he was actually loosening the chain and then the gate would open just enough that he could slip out. So that's another reason that we did this latch system, because honestly, if he pushed against this, like I'm reefing on it both ways and it's not going anywhere. It's not moving. And unless he acquired fingers and thumbs overnight, which wouldn't surprise me if he did, but you would need a very specific operation to open and close that, to get that open. I don't think he's going to figure it out, but he might figure it out because he surprises me with his intelligence every single day. Anyways, moving on. Let's do some other farm updates. I think this is going to be kind of a walk and talk vlog thing, but I'm hoping I'm giving you some like actual practical information about gates. So before we cover that though, another kind of like hilarious thing about this gate is that we have we have a hotline up in the air and it's all across the yard. This is how we run our electrical fence. You know, it's just easier if it's up in the air because then you're not running into it and, you know, you can basically put your fence wherever you want. Anyways, it runs across the barn here and we have little conductors where it comes down by this gate. It's not connected right now. And it comes down to there. And then we used to have where it came across here before this gate existed. And so down here, I don't know if you can see that, Keith. Yeah, is one of those conductors, and it's just we've cut the wire since we put the gate in. But this conductor was perfectly placed ages ago. That now, when you want to close this gate, it actually holds the gate closed. You couldn't plan that if you wanted to, but anyways. That's why we don't have a latch over there, because we don't have to worry about it, because that conductor is in the most perfectly placed spot that it actually holds the gate tight. So anyways. So this year our crab apples decided to actually do something. It hasn't really done anything the last couple of years because the gypsy moth kind of like destroyed them. The trees, that is. But this tree is dropping apples left, right, and center. And they look pretty hardy. And a lot of them, the chickens like them at least. But a lot of them are like pretty red. And, you know, I don't want to get too close because every once in a while one will come off the tree and, you know, might knock me unconscious or something. But every time it hits the metal roof here, you know, you think the whole barn's coming apart. But, yeah, the chickens like it though. It's kind of nice for them. The dogs like to play with them. They're bitter though, so the dogs don't play with them too long. But it's kind of neat though. We haven't had apples like this since the first year we moved in. So I don't know. I was actually going to cut down this tree because honestly the last couple of years it wasn't doing anything. So I don't know. I'm kind of glad. I'm going to leave it now. So it gets to live. It produced some apples. On the chicken front, as you probably seen earlier in the video, our oldest hens are free ranging out here as long as Bailey is out here. And right now you'll only see 2 of them. There's one by the door over there because the other 2 are broody, and so we just kind of been letting them do their thing. Nothing hatched out of those eggs that we left so far, so I don't know. We have had chronically broody hens for years and have never been successful in hatching anything. So I don't know what the secret is, but it ain't happening here. Yeah, can you see that chicken? That is our silver one. This hen is a real bugger. It's amazing that she survived actually, because she's like so hard to deal with, meaning like survived the fox attack, because like she just, I think it was just dumb luck because she just doesn't do what normal chickens do. Like this, there's something about that breed because we got like 4 of them, and like they are a very strange breed. Like they got a weird personality. And Bailey just stole the chicken brush. Excuse me, sir. You have many sticks to play with. This is what he stole. Did you steal this? No, everybody thinks it's a game. So anyways, right now we only have the silver one coming out, and one of our white ones who we call Seagull because she honestly looks like a really disgustingly dirty ocean seagull. So, anyways. Dave's home. You're probably wondering if these chicks and turkeys are gonna be free range like the rest of the guys, gals. Yes, they are. So they are definitely big enough now. We're just kind of worried about them being a little bit too small that they might fit through the fence. But I think they're gonna be okay. So I think today we're actually gonna clip their wings. So I'm pretty sure that one of the white turkeys is a male, but I'm having a hard time figuring it out. I've never had turkeys before, so it's a mystery, and it'll be like another few weeks before it's really like a definite answer of what gender they are. But I'm pretty sure 1 out of 3 of them is a male, which is cool, because I think turkey toms are kind of neat and interesting. But moving on. My sunflower wall. Now, if you watched my other video where I talked about this, where I was really excited about how cool this was going to look, and then I realized that it would never look as cool as what I wanted it to, because sunflowers follow the sun, and this is facing north, and the sun is the other side of the greenhouse. So the sunflowers all face the wrong way. See? I mean, it's kind of hilarious if you think about it, but not hilarious in the way that, like, you know, I really thought this was going to be a showstopper of a sunflower wall, and they are all, see, there's one up there, facing the wrong way. So, yeah, that's this summer's big disappointment. My chicken butt squash, or pumpkin, whatever it is, which is over here by the sunflowers, is doing well. Still don't know what it is. It is flowering. I suspect that it's a squash, but I'm not 100%. We'll have to see what kind of fruit she bears. But we've just been leaving it to see what it wants to do. And in my garden, it's a little disappointing. So the problem is that we had a few wild storms here, and it just like kind of decimated a few things. Like my corn got kind of bent over and flopped over. My tomato vines came off of the trellis, which damaged a lot of them. So it's kind of disappointing, because although I feel like this year has still been a success, it's not as good as what it was last year. And I'm just kind of disappointed in that. But anyways, I'll show you what I do have. So the other day I made pickles, and there's still lots of cucumbers that are coming off the vine here. I will pick those later today. Probably make more cucumbers. Or, sorry, not cucumbers, pickles. Anyways, I made like 12 jars of pickles. And the strawberry patch is still doing its thing. Still have a lot of strawberries. I should actually go through and pick some. The weather's been so weird. I haven't really actually been in here that much. My broccoli is kind of dying off at this point. I have picked most of it, so, you know, not a big deal. Last year I got a second crop of broccoli, but this year I don't think it's going to happen. And, yeah, you know, like I said, a little bit disappointing garden this year, but the pumpkins are doing wonderful. Listen, I never have this much luck with pumpkins ever, and so this is a new plot, something new I tried, and obviously it worked. So, and I have a lot of like different pumpkins in here, and I don't really remember like going to the effort to plant so many different things, so it's kind of neat. But anyways, I'll try to show you what is in here so far. So I got one of those little ornamental pumpkins, which is cool because I definitely did not plan to plant that, and I got one of these big pumpkins, and there's a bunch of those little ornamental pumpkin things in there. But then I have like something like that. I don't even know what these are. And look at that. I have another one. Oh, that's going to be a lovely pumpkin right there. So I don't know. Pumpkin success? My blueberry bushes are definitely done for the year. Where is it? I can see it right there. The reason I can tell that is because they're already starting to turn like a reddish orange, which is what they do in the fall. Blueberry bushes actually look really pretty in the fall. So but they stopped giving off blueberries like ages ago, weeks ago, but it was their first year, so, you know, it is what it is. I hate that saying, and I say it all the time, so I apologize if you hate that saying too. These are my yellow pear tomatoes. They have not done a thing. Well, I mean, they've grown, but they haven't like turned yellow or ripened up yet. So I've already gotten 4 tomatoes. And like I said, a lot of them fell off the vine, and then they sat in the soil, and then they, from the storm, and then they got a bit of a blight, so some of them do not look that great. But in the same spot where I picked my last 4 tomatoes, look at that. That's a beautiful tomato. I have that one. I only have so many hands, so I'm gonna come back and get this one and probably this one, since it's already started to turn, because I have been waiting to make my tomato sauce. And like, there's tomatoes, but again, they kind of don't look that great. And again, my peppers like really suck this year. I've just gotten a handful, and like, it, you know, last year, if you look back at my videos, it was like pepper after pepper after pepper, and like this year it's like hardly anything. So I don't know, it's too much rain. Everybody was like, oh, the plants like the rain. Well, I mean, they only like it so much, and things just got drenched. And you know, like, no matter how good your drainage is, it still is pretty hard on plants, and then you end up with things like loss of end rot, because all the minerals and stuff come out of the soil, and things don't like to grow as well as what they normally would. So rain is good, but too much rain, not good in the veggie garden. So like I said about my corn, see, I lost some. But they're still, like, I don't know, we'll see. Neither of them look good after that storm, so I don't know. I'm not expecting anything. And I have little cherry tomatoes, and again, they're not really producing that much, which is kind of odd, because normally this plant goes wild. So I should show you my beans, though. You can't see my beans on the outside of the trellis, but you definitely can on the inside. So there they all are. They're all hanging down. And yeah, so I only just started getting beans, which is really weird timing. So the beans are pretty good. And also got this gourd thing going on, so, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what kind of gourd that is. And I've got this like pretty funny looking one here, because this is kind of come off the trellis and now is going up that. So to each his own, if that's what it wants to do.
Hi. We gotta be friends. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just calm your down. Uh-huh. Do you want to go inside? Okay, come on then.
So we just clipped all their wings. We didn't show it on camera because it's like literally all hands on deck. There's no way I could have filmed that while we were doing that. And we're just gonna let them
calm down a little bit.
get some water, calm down, and then Dave's going to cut an opening in the back of this cage so that they can come on out over to here. And this is the pen, so it'll be their first time that they've had freedom. Freedom. They're all coming out.
All the white ones anyway.
So I don't know if you can see, but Bailey is up in the trees there. And this is really great behavior because he's sitting kind of in the tree line, kind of out of the way, and he's watching the chickens. So Bailey's a really good guardian dog for being 10 months. And the chickens are happily munching away at their greens. No sign of turkeys coming out yet, but I'm sure they'll be out soon. Mr. Bailey, such a good boy. Such a good chicken boy. Yep, turkey's out.
Now the turkeys will be flighty. I just hope that they'll fly back in once they fly out.
Well, thanks for watching. We just put all of the chickens away. So you want to explain what happened?
Yeah, so the 4 that we had surviving from the other coop, they all decided to go into the one coop together. So
Yeah, so they joined the
new flock.
the brooder house, yeah.
So
they all went in together, and yeah, so we're just, because there was only 4 left of the original crew, we're just gonna let them live together, and we're gonna do some work on that coop. So it kind of worked out.
And we're gonna do some more work on this coop too.
Yeah,
I gotta get some more roosting bars in there, and
yeah,
a couple other things.
We call it a brooder house for a reason, because it's not really set up for like nesting boxes and.
It is now. I threw in a couple of nesting boxes.
But it's we've always just used it as a brooder house.
Yeah,
so.
we're gonna turn it into a multi-purpose coop, I think.
Yeah.
And then when we modify that one, I think we'll do the same with that one, so they can go backwards and we can switch them up.
Yeah. Anyways, that worked out really well. I like that they all kind of went together, and also the new chicks and turkeys got to actually have some outside time and enjoy the.
Tomorrow they'll be able to be a lot more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.